Our prisoner escaped.
New Rebel Transport holds up to 42 action figures, each sold separately, some assembly required.
You'll never get me, Rebel Commander. You can't escape, Imperial TIE Fighter pilot. Didn't find the lasers. Good. Backpacks and gas masks are safe. That means he's hiding in the escape hatch. You knew where I was. Oldest trick in the book.
New Rebel Transport, some assembly required. Action figures each sold separately from Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back collection.
On this episode of Looking Back with Flack, we're going to look at a Star Wars ship that you may not be totally familiar with. This is the Rebel Transport that was featured in The Empire Strikes Back. In Star Wars, Kenner had several decent ships to choose from. You had the TIE Fighters, the X-Wing Fighter, the Millennium Falcon. All those ships were in the movie and did pretty exciting things. And you had the X-Wing blowing up the Death Star, you had Darth Vader's TIE Fighter. You had all these things that were integral parts of the movie, and kids wanted to own those toys. And The Empire Strikes Back, there weren't quite as many of those. You had snow speeders from the Battle of Hoth, and AT-AT, the giant, walking thing. You also had certain toys that were re-released. You had an updated version of the X-Wing Fighter. It was the same mold, but with updated stickers for going to Dagobah. You had an updated version of the Millennium Falcon, just different artwork on the boxes. But around the time Empire Strikes Back, we've really seen Kenner's toy line really start to explode. And that's when we start seeing action figures, toys, things appearing that were either in the movie for a fraction of a second, or maybe not even in the movie at all. So in the case of this, the Rebel Transport served one purpose in the movie.
R2! Get her ready for takeoff. Take up the rendezvous.
Yes, Rebels piled into this and flew away after they had got their butts kicked by the Empire in the Battle of Hoth. So, right off the bat, not really a popular toy, and basically it's used to flee from a fight. And second of all, it appears in the movie in, less than 5 seconds, something like that. There's just these shots of the Rebel Transport flying off after the Battle of Hoth. So, not really, and people weren't really looking forward to playing with the Rebel Transport. So, now, the one cool thing about the Rebel Transport is that it doubles as a figure carrying. So, before this, we had the original, they had the vinyl carrying case that had the gray trays that went in, so you could put action figures in that. Then they had the Darth Vader shaped carrying case. Later on they had the C-3PO shaped carrying case, and they also had the Chewbacca bandolier where you could put figures in, but none of those things were part of the movie. So, like the bandolier strap, your figures aren't going to be playing with that. That is something you could play with, as a kid, but it wasn't an actual toy. So this is an actual toy that you could play with your other Star Wars things, but you could also carry your figures around in here. So let's take a look at a couple of the features of the Rebel Transport here. First of all, as you can see, it's shaped like a space pickle. It's very aerodynamic for outer space where there's no wind shear. Amazingly, these decals were put on by me probably in 1981 when I got this toy. This is the original one that I had as a kid, and as you can see, the decals are all still there. They've got some decals there on the engine, some here on the top. Now, right off the bat, there are two parts of the ship that come off, and as you can see, they never really go back on, right? You take them off one time. The first is the cockpit here, which, as you can see, this pops off. And here you have a cockpit where two figures can sit, fly the giant space pickle. And then there's the removable back piece here, where one action figure can sit. And I'll show you this in a minute. There's a couple of laser cannons in here. So now with those pieces off, this you can see here is a giant laser gun. And I was never really sure which way was front because this rotates. When it's forward and back, this is in a locked position and it can be used as a carrying handle. But when it's sideways, as you'll see here, the top comes off and reveals the inside of the ship. So inside the ship here, here's the carrying case. And you can just stand figures. They have the little Kenner pegs in here for the figures, and most of these little squares are set up, the corner ones are set up to hold 3 figures, and these inside are set up to hold 2. So let's see, that would be 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20, 12, 20, you know. The actual book says that you can hold up to 42 characters in this ship. But I have found by piling them in here and using my foot to cram them in, you could get about 150. So your mileage may vary. Now inside this is also a detailed marking of the ship. You can see the inner workings here. So I always thought that was pretty cool. Now to try to make this more toy-like, you could take these guns out here, and now you have this little action set where someone could sit. You know, these actually pop off too, but they're kind of difficult to pop back on, and also they're easy to lose. A lot of times you'll see this toy for sale loose, and that's missing these pieces. There's a lot of pieces that popped off of this thing that were easy to lose. Now, another feature about this are these inside lines here that you can see the floor actually pops up and opens up, and these could be used as storage. And on this front one you'll see here, when I open it up, this is full of all my Star Wars weapons. This is where I used to store them, so everyone's lightsabers, guns, spears, whatever. This also came with 8 different, you had 4 backpacks, which were like the Rebel Hoth backpacks, and 4 gas masks. So you can actually get those in a mail-away offer, but they didn't come with any figures. And there's a reason, because who wants gas masks and backpacks, really? I mean, if you're trying to you know, do the Battle of Hoth, or when you're playing with your figures and stuff, that's not really a big seller, you know. So anyway, I've got those in here, all these little different parts to things. And then one other feature on the bottom here, as you saw in the commercial, is the escape hatch. So that just pops off. These, whenever you find these loose, you'll almost never, this is one of the first things that goes. But that little trap door opens up. You can see it opens up. Characters could go through here. And also, if you notice, that there is a hole right here in the bottom of this. And that lines up with the trap door. So you could actually slide characters down through that. And, there's no real way. On the commercial, you saw there was the TIE fighter pilot that was hiding in there, but as you can see, in reality, it's really not deep enough to hold a character. So this isn't a toy that got a lot of use in my house. I mean, I think mostly it sat on the shelf. You put your figures in it. You could use it when you were going over to a friend's house, put all your figures, you know, everything that you wanted to play with, put the top on, lock it in, carry it over to someone's house. So it was good for that. But as far as battle reenactments and stuff, unless you're reenacting the Rebels fleeing from a fight over and over, really didn't get much play. So anyway, that's it for this episode of Looking Back with Flack. I hope you enjoyed looking at the Rebel transport, and be sure to check retroist.com for updates and stories every day of old stuff, new stuff, all kinds of toys. So thanks again for watching.
This has been a Retroist production. Goodbye.